Hello everyone, my name is Redyan Aptario and my student number is 114, and in this video, I will discuss my thesis and related studies in order to find the gap, and hopefully, my related studies can answer whether my thesis is novel or not. The title of my thesis is a post-colonial eco-critic study of ecotourism in Burma in Amitan's Saving Fish from Drowning novel. The main issue of my thesis is how the issue of ecotourism in Burma as a form of Western neocolonialism, which disguised as a development portrayed in Amitan's Saving Fish from Drowning. The main object is Amitan's Saving Fish from Drowning, and Burma are now known as Myanmar. The keywords of my thesis are ecotourism, neocolonialism, development, capitalist, and visual tourism. My first related study is environmental effect of ecotourism in Indonesia. This journal is written by Regina Butar-Butar and Sumarno. Published in September 2013 in Journal of Indonesia Tourism and Development Studies, Volume 1, the third issue. The main issue is how ecotourism activities impact the environment in Indonesia. The main object is ecotourism object in Indonesia. Ecotourism mentioned in this study are mountainous landscape and agriculture tourism. The overview of the study is ecotourism activities affect the environmental effort on maintaining ecotourism attraction both positively and negatively. The negative effort portrayed are the destruction of landscape, vegetation community, wildlife, and etc., while the positive impact strikes on certain aspects such as economic, education, and environment development. The similarities between the first related study and my thesis is both theses discussed about ecotourism dimension, which are conservation dimension, tourism dimension, and social dimension. The differences in this article focuses on environmental positive and negative impact of ecotourism activities, which categorize into three aspects, specifically environmental, socio-cultural, and economic aspect. My second related study is ecotourism development in Ghana, a postcolonial analysis. This article is written by Gabriel Essen and Eva Tagudarko. Published in 2015 in Journal of Tourism and Hospitality, Development in African Economies, Perspective and Challenges, Volume 32, the third issue. The main issue of this article is to examine what extent colonial approaches to forestry and wildlife conservation still influence ecotourism in Ghana. The main object is ecotourism in Ghana, namely colonial forestry and wildlife conservation. The overview of the study is national officials and international collaborators largely exclude local communities from state-led ecotourism on the premise that they lack of expertise. The similarity with my thesis is both of the studies analyze how ecotourism functionate in developing country, or by definition, the descriptive component of ecotourism involves the natural environment as an attraction. It consists of environmental dimension, experiential dimension, sociocultural dimension, and economic dimension. And the differences in this study focuses more on hegemony, local ecological knowledge, and financial roles in ecotourism in development in Ghana. The third related study is tourism development in Bagan, Myanmar, perception of its influences upon young people's cultural identity. It is written by Anna Katarina Rich and Anja Frank. This article published in 2015 on Journal of Tourism Planning and Development. The main issue of this article is how tourism development affect adolescent cultural identity. The main object is young society of Bagan and tourism development. The overview of the study is tourism development responsible for their direct and indirect impact to young peoples. This impact happens to be both positive and negative, as the adolescent in Bagan experience joy, curiosity, pride, confusion, shame, and conflicts. Nevertheless, they also experience localized version or globalization and localization of expressing their cultural identity. The similarities between the third related study and my thesis is both of the studies discuss about tourism development in Burma or Myanmar, while the differences is this study focuses on the cultural identity of young people in Bagan rather than tourism development itself. The fourth related study is titled Tourism in Developing Countries, Neocolonialism or Nation Builder. It is written by James J. Spillane, published in February 2005, Journal of Management and Labor Studies, Volume 30, the first issue. The study analyzed how the role of tourism sector in developing countries driven by domestic and international tourism. The main object of this study are tourism and developing countries. An overview of the study. Despite the positivity on ecotourism development, some tourism seen as a nation builder, but for others, it is a neocolonialism in disguise, depends on the stakeholders. But a modern, well-planned and well-conceived tourism can indeed be a nation builder rather than neocolonialism. The fourth related study and my thesis discuss how tourism conduct under neocolonialism. The act of neocolonialism based on the richness of cultural heritage and the opportunity to gain more benefit with less expenditure. The tourism under neocolonialism also give a negative impact to the environment. The differences of the study are this study focuses on Indonesia and India as an example of development country. Furthermore, the study analyzed the principal approaches and moral tourism, also relating tourism development with terrorism act. The last related study that I will be discussing is a way to achieve success for Myanmar ecotourism, written by Mayo Aung, published on 2018 in International Journal on Recent Trends in Business and Tourism, Volume 2, third issue. This study assessed on Myanmar ecotourism strategy, potential sites, and current challenges to develop ecotourism in Myanmar. The main objects are ecotourism in Myanmar, community participation, and ecotourism strategies. The strategies mainly contain the strengthening institutional arrangements, planning in and around destinations, marketing, and research monitoring. An overview of the study is British colonization affected the development of Myanmar ecotourism and educate Myanmar communities regarding ecotourism. However, the financial growth of Myanmar is only experienced by Western colonizers. Both of the theses discusses about Western colonization behind ecotourism development in Myanmar. The difference in the study focuses on strategy and which aspect can overcome ecotourism challenges in Myanmar. Gap of the studies. The gap I have found relates on how modern development of ecotourism is in agreement policies with local communities and stakeholders can be regarded as nation builder rather than neocolonialism. According to the related studies which I have found, I concluded that my thesis can be considered as a novel due its main concern. The thesis focuses on the portrayal of Burma before and after neocolonialism and analyzes Karen tribe, an ethnic groups which settled in Burma. The thesis also associates the relationship between Karen tribe, tourists, and government, especially the military regarding the act of ecotourism. So this concludes the focus of discussion in my video. Feel free to leave a comment about your experience with my presentations. You can share your thoughts or ask questions in the comment section. Thank you and have a good day.